On SCOTUS, yesterday I met with President Biden at the White House to discuss a broad range of issues on the Democratic agenda. One of the most important matters we covered was his intention to nominate the first black woman justice to the Supreme Court. I reiterated the same commitment I've made all week. When President Biden makes his nominee known to the nation, I will move to have the Senate consider and confirm her as soon as possible. I will see to it that the process is fair, that members on both sides of the aisle can evaluate questions and get to know the nominee, but will also move quickly. Everything seems to be on track to get that done, to move the nominee quickly through the courts. President Biden is not expected through the Congress. President Biden is not expected to announce his nominee for a few weeks, but we already know one thing. The president's pledge to name a black woman to the Supreme Court is historic. There have been 115 justices who have sat on the court since 1789. Only 5 of them have ever been women, none until 1981. Only 2 have been African American, but never, never has there been an African American woman, who still make up barely 6% of the federal judiciary. And amazing, until 1981, this powerful body, the Supreme Court, was all white men. Imagine. America wasn't all white men in 1981 or ever. Under President Biden and this Senate majority, we're taking historic steps to make the courts look more like the country they serve by confirming highly qualified, diverse nominees. A quarter of all African American women who sit on the federal bench were nominated by this administration and approved by this Senate. Just hear that. 25% of African American women who sit on the federal bench came through this Senate this year. That's the progress we've made in a relatively short amount of time. In fact, nearly 70% of all president's nominees have been non-white, dwarfing the record of every single president since at least Jimmy Carter. And some say, well, why was that? Because the bench has been almost all white, as I said, 100% all white males until 1981. We have some ground to make up so the courts can represent America. These aren't abstract facts and figures. Who we put on the bench matters. The personal experience of that each judge brings to bear cannot be merely glanced over. When Americans come before the courts and look up at who presides in the courtroom, they should trust that those who render judgment on them will be able to understand each litigant's lived experience and bring a modicum of human understanding required to apply the law equitably. The best way we can do that is to elevate judges from a broad range of backgrounds. Diversity in all its forms matter. It's good for the justice system, and it's really vital, Madam President, to the health of our democracy. President Biden's nominees are also extremely well qualified. We're not sacrificing qualifications and excellence for diversity. President Biden's nominees are both more diverse and more qualified than any president in recent history. I'm proud of the accomplishments we've secured to bring this past year to bring balance to our federal courts. Now on NOM's progress. Yesterday was a good day on the Senate floor. We held 12 roll call votes, 12 roll call votes on a number of President Biden's nominees to his administration and to the federal bench. Half of these votes took place in the evening. I'm glad we dispensed with them efficiently and without needless delay. I want to thank all my colleagues for their cooperation and flexibility as we move through the large number of votes. We want to be able to keep doing this. We want to be able to work with similar speed next time a large number of votes are lined up on the floor. And maybe some of them, like last night, will go by voice. Some of these there's no reason to have a vote on except a few, just a handful. Not the vast majority of the other party, insist we have votes on all of them, which only lengthens the process but doesn't deter us from moving forward on these nominees. Of the 20 nominees I filed at the end of the last work period, we've confirmed or invoked cloture on all but 3 of them, and today we expect to hold cloture votes on the other 3. Again, it's an unusually large number of roll call votes for nominees that typically pass with unanimous consent. Obstruction from the small group of Republicans, only a small group, not the majority, not close to the majority, has forced us to work through these individuals one by one, but last night, with the cooperation of everybody, we were able to move quickly. So I thank my colleagues for their good work and cooperation.